Welcome back to Pure Science Education, and today I bring you Math and Science Part 2. This is on line graph, also known as scatter graph in maths, and I'm going to tell you the difference between the two subjects and how they interlink as well. Now, in science exam, for all three subjects, physics, chemistry and biology, and KS3, you will get at least 5 to 6 marks just for plotting graphs or analysing or looking at graphs and the data. There is always a massive confusion for students when it says the word line of best fit. They just assume a line of best fit means a straight line from a zero, which is not the case in science. However, it is the case in maths. So, when the point arrows are scattered on a graph, they're not close together, that means there's no relationship between the variables and there's non-linear relationship. It basically means it doesn't have like a direct correlation. So if one side increases, the other also increases. So we're going to have a look at what does that mean. So if you look at the current graph, the number one, first of all, students get really confused when it's both numerical data, what data goes where, and sometimes they just assume because data is given in a nice periodical manner like 10, 20, 30, 40, they can put it anywhere. Now let's just see how to plot a graph and what you need to do, the steps. So first of all, on the bottom, you need to get your independent variable. So the independent variable is the one you decide to change. And on the y-axis, you have your dependent variable. Now, dependent variable is the variable that you decide to measure. So once you decided what goes where, the next thing is you need to have a plot. The data, before you can do that, you need to get a scale. A lot of the times when you're looking at exam papers, a lot of students just put the results onto the axes and they plot it. You need to have a scale. Not only a scale, you got to make sure they are equally divided. That'll give you 2 points, deciding what variables go where, and then once you got a scale which covers all your points. So the best way to look at the scale when students say, oh, I don't really know what to do, is look at the highest and the lowest point of data and then equally distribute your grids. Once you've done that, you then plot the data. And finally, you will draw your line of best fit. Now, you will see on purpose I've given you an example with line of best fit is a curve, which doesn't, like I said, necessarily has to be a straight line. So what you need to do is kind of follow the points and see if it's a curve, which it will be 99% of the time in biology and in chemistry. However, in physics, you do get directly proportional data. So do have a look at that. And if it's a straight line, then there's a positive correlation as well. Now, the other thing is when you're looking at relationships of data or trends and pattern, that all these three words mean the same stuff, and all they're asking you to do is how, if for example, if you look at this graph, you can split it into two halves. So up to here there was like a slow increase, and then there's a rapid increase, whatever these axes may be. On the bottom, I've given you examples of positive, negative, no correlation. So the first one's a positive correlation. Again, you can see it doesn't go through zero. It doesn't necessarily have to unless I tell you. And you got positive and negative correlation there. And in the last graph, there's no correlation. Right, now what we're going to do is look at the rules for the exam. So I'll put scatter graph or line graph, what are the rules for the exam? If you are a lower ability student, that is looking at grades, the highest is 5 to 1, then you would not be expected to know the variables on the axes. What that means is they will give you a graph where they have already labeled the independent on the bottom and the dependent on the side for you. All you have to do is plot the data and do the line of best fit. However, if you're a high ability kid, then you need to decide whether independent and goes on the horizontal or vertical and the other round. Now, like I said, drawing a line of best fit, you do get these plastic rulers that you can bend to do it or just do a freehand. Please make sure you use a pencil and you're only doing a one single line. You don't need to have 3-4 lines going through the line of best fit, because in the exam, when they scan the paper, the examiner will not give you any marks. So make sure it's just one single nice curve going through as many points as possible. Do not go zigzagging the points, just nice smooth curve. For high ability students, you will be expected to stay also if it's a linear or non-linear relationship, and obviously draw a smooth curve where possible. Right, all the best, take care, don't forget to subscribe and like.